Next on Paranormal, Caught on Camera. Investigators in Kentucky are confronted by the demons haunting a family's property.
That shows a very vast intelligence. I believe they were dealing with something evil.
A school bus full of childlike shadow figures
Look at that. Look at the children playing.
blows the mind of a man in Louisiana.
I made a couple of circles around the bush just looking and just wondering and just asking myself, am I tripping?
A pub in England that's still frequented by its departed patrons.
There's a lot of activity, it seems, in this pub, and most of it seems to be attention-seeking.
And even more paranormal footage you have to see
That is a straight up orb, dude.
to believe. As terrifying as the paranormal can be, rest assured that a haunted house can usually only scare you, not actually hurt you. Of course, that all depends on what exactly is doing the haunting. Just ask a pair of investigators in Kentucky who were called to a haunted home and manhandled by its demons. – 2023, in Hawesville, Kentucky. Paranormal investigators and brothers Josh and Sean Foreman have been called to a home that has wreaked havoc on the family living inside.
Sean and I just arrived at the family's house here in Kentucky. We're getting ready to go in and meet with them. I'm Josh Foreman, and this is my video. The family was experiencing loud banging, walking, disembodied voices. They would actually see shadows on the property itself.
And while Josh and Sean certainly get a taste of that kind of activity while inside the home, it's not until they check out the property outside the house that they understand the power of what they're dealing with.
Okay, so right now I'm getting ready to head back to the woods, the pond. Sean's gonna stay inside the house. I just wanna see if I can document anything out there. There was actually a lot of history with this wooded area and the pond and the farm that's set next to back by the woods. Holy this is freaking creepy. So I basically went out there to try to document the black shadows that people had seen back in this woods, and then also leave Sean inside the house and see what he could document.
And only a few minutes into Josh's investigation of the surrounding woods, with his spirit box in hand,
Come out so I can see you.
Ancient spirit.
Ancient spirit.
Run.
Oh, God.
watch again. Right after the spirit box tells him to run.
Oh, God.
Something takes Josh down.
I heard this real loud shuffle in the brush right next to me. At the exact same time, the spirit box said run. And it just scared the crap out of me, so I took off right up the hill. It literally felt like something grabbed my ankle. I tripped, fell down, and thought I broke my camera.
Holy.
There's the old saying, don't believe everything you read. But I would add, don't necessarily listen to everything your ghost device tells you to do. Because you might be playing into the designs of a not so nice spirit. If it tells you to run, and that's precisely what you do, you might be giving into what it wants, and maybe it's even setting you up for that trip and fall that happens right after.
God.
These things can hurt you and they can affect you. So we've learned over the years that, when that situation happens, it's best to try to get out of that situation.
Oh, God.
A situation made all the more real by what was happening to Sean inside the house at the exact same time.
Brother. Chased.
Is somebody with Josh right now? Tell me.
Please go.
Obviously, we're separated, and to go back and hear what Sean was experiencing,
It's outside.
where whatever was inside the house was telling Sean, your brother's in trouble out in the woods,
Brother.
and, trying to direct him out to the woods, to me, was pretty crazy activity to document.
Please go.
That shows a very vast intelligence and also something that has kind of ominous or nefarious intent, as we clearly saw. I believe they were dealing with something evil.
And if there was any remaining question of that, once the brothers regroup in the home's kitchen,
Stand right here. Dude, I just seen a shadow twice.
it's quickly put to bed. Watch the left side of your screen very closely.
Who are you? Show yourself again. Right there.
Did you see it? Watch again, as a dark shadow seems to cross the kitchen floor multiple times, right in front of Josh and Sean.
You see this dark shadow move across the kitchen from one side to the other. We sat there and watched this shadow for probably 5 minutes.
Come towards us. Josh, it just freaking came right at you.
There was 2 or 3 times I asked it to come towards us, and every time it came straight at us.
The dark form that they see and that we see, I wouldn't categorize as a shadow figure because it doesn't really have definition of form that shadow figures often do on video. This is sort of just an amorphous black mass, almost like a cloud.
Whatever it is, it compels Josh and Sean to cleanse the home and wrap up their investigation.
Sometimes when you get scared and you just want to leave the situation, what we've learned from this experience is to push through that fear and find as much information as you can to help the family, because ultimately that's what it's all about, is helping the family and just to help empower them to take their life back and to take their home back.
Show yourself again.
Coming up, a pregnant woman in the Philippines is stalked by a legendary beast. The Aswang, a shape-shifting creature in Filipino folklore that assumes human form by day and by night reveals its true horrific form as it seeks out the unborn children of pregnant women for its nighttime meal. And if you want proof, look no further than one woman in the Philippines who had to pull out all the tools in her arsenal to protect herself and her unborn son. August 10th, 2022, in Mindanao, the Philippines. It's nearly midnight, and Jessime Gabales is about 6 months pregnant and unable to fall asleep as she records a video for social media.
So guys, hindi ako makatulog ngayon kasi sobrang likod ni baby. Kanina pa sumasakit yung tiyan ko.
But Jessime's baby's kicks are nothing compared to what's apparently happening outside her bedroom window. Listen closely. animalistic growls. And noises from above. The same ones that have plagued her for the last month.
I'm just Amiga Bales, and these are my videos. Every night, I heard a lot of creepy noises, like a growl, a creepy growl, like something like that. It lasts from 11 p.m. up to 4 a.m. in the morning. Pa! Nana, pinagkunkwan sa atop?
As the sounds of scurrying and shuffling unfold, initially I thought it might just be a rodent, but wouldn't she be aware of that presence around her home? And then there's that growling sound. That doesn't sound like any raccoon I've ever encountered.
There are scratches everywhere. In our rooftop, I heard footsteps, a big footsteps.
But as scary as the last few weeks have been for her, she was, in some ways, expecting it. Because according to Jessame, pregnant women in the Philippines are routinely preyed upon by a vicious and powerful beast. The Aswang.
If you're a pregnant woman here in the Philippines, Aswang will surround your house. I heard that they are mostly persons transforming into animals, but they are actually humans with some magic forms because they love to smell the fetus inside the womb of the woman.
The Aswang has played a major role in the folklore of this region for centuries, going back to pre-colonial times.
This is not limited to this particular culture, but this creature in Filipino folklore is known to actually draw out or eat a woman's fetus using almost like a proboscis, like a giant, horrific mosquito.
The whole shape-shifting sounds and grunts that we're hearing is very much what Aswangs are known for. Aswangs can shapeshift into anything and take on the guises of other types of beings.
Terrifying. And the noises only seem to get worse as Jessame's pregnancy comes to term. So much so that she begins sleeping with her mother full time.
You can't help but to really feel empathetic toward this individual. She's dealing with a pregnancy. On top of that, she's dealing with something supernatural and something that's very terrifying in that realm.
Desperate for a solution, Jessame takes what she's learned from her family and puts it to good use.
Here in the Philippines, mostly our windows are covered with cloth, black cloths or something that are black curtains so that the aswangs won't see us through the window. And especially us pregnant women, we usually wear black clothes every night because they smell and then they see through our belly. If they're above the rooftop, they see our baby inside our tongues.
The culture you're raised in informs you how to interact with the spirit world. And this one specifically gave her the tools, the knowledge, and the respect to make it through this otherwise perilous instance.
After months of terror, Jessame's son is born, happy and healthy. And weeks later, all Aswang activity stops for good.
I'm so thankful that my son is healthy. After that, it's all gone. It's a peaceful day and night for us.
And just like she did during her pregnancy, Jessimae will continue to protect herself and her son.
I've learned that you should be careful in your surroundings and be mindful and to take care good of your child, because aswangs will just attack us. We mothers should be courageous enough to fight for them if they attack.
Coming up, a man captures a bizarre pursuit.
What the hell?
In the skies above his Arizona home.
That is a straight up orb, dude. Followed by a freaking helicopter.
These days, the thought of a visitor from outer space is so ingrained in popular culture that any unidentified object in the sky is assumed to be, almost by default, extraterrestrial. But some believe in another theory, predating the belief in beings from another world, that the objects sometimes spotted in the sky don't come from outer space, but rather from heaven itself. Case in point, one man in Arizona who returned home from work one night.
What the hell?
And witnessed something he believes may be divine.
That is a straight up orb, dude. Being followed by a freaking helicopter.
April 24th, 2025. In Whetstone, Arizona. It's around 8 p.m. And as Alex Wallace is visiting his neighbor after work, he sees something in the sky above that blows his mind.
Yo, that is a freaking orb. That's an orb being chased by a helicopter.
What the hell?
It's a helicopter, seemingly on the trail of a glowing orb.
That is a straight up orb, dude. Being followed by a freaking helicopter.
My name is Alex, and this is my video. I can see the actual helicopter. It wasn't dark enough to where it's just like a blinking light, and the orb right in front of it. Like, it was very obvious that that was what both of those things were. You could tell it was a globe because it looked the same from the south, looking in front of it, and then on the side it looked the same. So it was a completely 360 ball of light.
What the hell?
This is a movie trailer to me. This is what I want to see. This is what I have been waiting for. Bring popcorn, get the 3D glasses. This is the end of the world. I love this clip. I love it.
According to the rules of aviation, there are certain lights that must be present on all flying craft. They all have to have blinking lights. It's required. But this thing doesn't have that. This is just a single light source. There is no safety warning lights anywhere on it. It seems to be a self-contained ball of light that's moving through the sky. It's not making any sound. It's just a bright light.
When you add to that there is a helicopter, obviously, audibly, visibly following the orb through the sky, it's just sort of like, okay, yep, everything we've ever been told is true. Like, there are UFOs, UAPs, somebody knows about them, somebody's following them through the sky.
And that somebody, according to online reports, is piloting a Border Patrol helicopter.
That is nuts.
Which, according to Alex, followed the orb for a very long time.
My neighbor, about an hour later, he said that it came back the other way.
Could this thing just be like, okay, you chased me away, but I'm not done. I'm trying to do some more. I'm trying to learn more of what you humans are up to and what you have down here. Or could it be something that is extraterrestrial that we are working with? Oh man, I love this kind of thing.
Alex, meanwhile, has another theory that leans a little more divine.
My gut is telling me maybe it's some kind of angels. I do believe in aliens. I do believe in God. And who knows if aliens are something other than what we think they are, because aliens could just be another name for demons, and orbs can be another name for angels, or it's just an orb and it's just aliens. Who knows? More than likely, anybody's guess is going to be wrong, but that one is mine.
And strange as it might seem, historically, it tracks.
Ancient alien theorists believe that a lot of these types of encounters with these crafts were perceived as angelic beings, and they still are. And biblically speaking, you know, a lot of the times these types of entities show up as these balls of light. Could this be the depiction of entities that look over us, or what we call, you know, archangels? I could definitely see the correlation for that.
Angels or otherwise, Alex maintains an open mind.
I'm not just going to shut down everything except for what I believe in the most. But I do believe in there's something else, for sure, 100%.
It's a freaking orb. That's an orb being chased by a helicopter.
Coming up, the owners of a century-old pub in England reckon with the ghosts that haunt the property. Those who are most dubious of the supernatural have their reasons for their disbelief. But whatever the source of their skepticism, one thing is nearly certain. They've probably never spent any time at an English pub. Because if they had been to one, like say, a century-old pub in Doncaster, they may end up just like its co-owners, who went from unconvinced to unequivocal. (2022) in Doncaster, England. At the Plough Inn, a pub that's been open for over 100 years. Owners Jane and Craig Bushell, who also live on site, are skeptical of what their staff is consistently telling them about working there.
I'm Jane.
And I'm Craig.
And these are our videos. A member of staff that used to work for us, every single time she worked, a glass got smashed. So this went on for weeks, and I'm like, oh, come on now, you haven't have. She's saying, I promise you, Jane, I promise you, I haven't touched them. They fly off the shelf. And I'm like, I don't staff, they're not flying off the shelf. So it was a really, really busy Sunday, and I was in the kitchen cooking, and all the staff came flying in at the same time saying, get that back on, because we just got the new CCTV footage.
As the pub staff crowds around Jane's phone to see the footage, watch closely.
And that's when you saw the glass fly off the shelf. And she claims that had happened 6 times previous weeks. Exactly the same shelf, exactly the same set of glasses.
We just never caught it before.
And once they begin reviewing more footage, they see vases, papers, and more glasses moving on their own, which totally freaks them out.
It can get scary. Our chef lives on site as well, and he was a big skeptic. He didn't believe in ghosts at all. And then All of a sudden, after living here for about 1.5 years, he said, Jane, I believe in ghosts now.
We see a lot of videos from haunted bars and taverns and inns from around the world, and now we can add the Plough Inn in Doncaster, UK to that list. It's a place where the spirits are getting, well, spirited.
There's a lot of activity, it seems, in this pub, and most of it seems to be attention-seeking. It's almost like something is there saying, hey, look at me, I'm over here, I'm bored, I'm frustrated.
My favorite is the glass that just flies off the shelf and shatters, because you really see how much impact that would require, and yet we're watching and seeing that there's nobody there making that happen.
Well, nobody living, that is.
In one of the clips, we see a gentleman walk over to the jukebox. I think he unplugs it. And we see some kind of strange anomaly lower on the screen. It just seems to like move from left to right and sort of disappear.
Seems to have disturbed this thing by unplugging that jukebox, whether it was feeding off the energy from that jukebox. It seemed to react immediately once he unplugged it.
Are these perhaps former patrons of the bar that are still hanging around after their own demise? I don't know, but I would imagine if you're going to haunt any place, you might as well go back to a place where perhaps you were the most comfortable and relaxed in life.
And Jane's personal experiences would seem to corroborate that.
Sometimes you can walk downstairs to an empty pub before we open and it feels like the pub's full. It's a weird feeling, it's hard to explain. It's like it's a heavy atmosphere you're walking in. It's like walking into a crowd of people, but there's nobody actually there.
When you spend so much time in a place and you have kind of your seat, if you will, and your specific table, you're leaving an imprint over and over again. So whether that's residual activity or just the fact that when they pass, that's where they want to be. That's where they had some of their happiest memories. It makes sense. It really does.
Especially in this part of the world.
I've had the awesome opportunity to work in England multiple times. And what I always find so interesting is that I have had more consistent experiences in the UK versus the US. And the only thing I can think of is that their structures are so much older than ours that if paranormal activity is contained in a structure, like a building, then it kind of makes sense that maybe some of these buildings we see in the UK have more activity.
And though the pub itself is 100 years old, the building it sits in, according to Jane and Craig, is triple that.
If you go into an old building, you tend to look at it as well. If it's 300 years old, there's got to have been people that died. There's got to be ghosts in it. So, hey ho.
People believe in that sort of thing. Then over 300 years, there's got to be something.
A reality that the Bushels are learning to accept.
As long as they're kind to me, I'll happily share the place. I'm not bothered. As long as they keep being nice to us.
Fascinating, yeah. Fascinated by
we're happy to share the pub. It was theirs before it was ours.
Coming up, a man in Louisiana spots a school bus.
Look at that, look at the children playing.
Filled with childlike ghosts. In settings that are not typically thought of as creepy, seeing something paranormal might initially be a little confusing. But with an open mind and a little curiosity, that unexpected brush with the supernatural can become the catalyst for a reawakening. Consider the case of one man in Louisiana whose experience filming a mysterious school bus went from spooky
Look at that, look at the children playing.
to serendipitous.
Look at that.
May 2024, Annapolis, Louisiana. Dante Saunier is at a local gas station, filling up his lawn equipment in anticipation of the workday. When, about 100 yards away, he spots something that baffles him.
My name is Dante Saunier, and this is my video. As I was on the phone with my girlfriend, I seen a bus, but on the bus, it had like some strange shadows on it. Like they were just moving all kind of awkward ways. They were doing all kind of stuff.
Look at that. Look at the children playing. Look at that.
I looked around to see what could have been reflecting. That was my first thing, to see reflection, like what could have been around me that was reflecting, making those shadows. And they just looked it so human, like, so I just had to get a closer look.
Let's go see. Let's go investigate.
But as Dante moves closer to the school bus,
My empty bus.
there's no one inside.
I was actually hoping that it was actually gonna be kids on the bus, but my heart dropped once I got to the bus and there was actually not a kid on the bus. That's when I felt this bad feeling in my stomach.
Look at that. Look at the children playing.
Like I really was scared. I got to my truck, I drove back around, made a couple of circles around the bus, just looking and just wondering and just asking myself, am I tripping? Am I going crazy?
My empty bus.
The shadows are quite distinct, and they really look like the size and stature of young children. And they seem to walk down the aisle of the bus and then take their seats. But there aren't any children there. They're just shadows of children.
Let's see. Let's go investigate.
What Dante does, and what I really like, is that he gets curious. He's not just satisfied with, recording this from far away. He's like, well, what if I get closer? So as he changes his perspective, I do still see what looks like a figure in the front seat. Could it be some sort of an illusion? Possibly, but it looks like there's somebody in the front seat of the bus and they're kind of moving around. So I'm stumped on this.
Dante is also stumped. And
My empty bus.
freaked out.
I just remember that whole entire day just feeling chills running through my body because I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and I couldn't believe what just happened.
But soon afterwards, a gift from a family member makes him rethink the incident.
They got this little book that my brother was giving me to look at. It was like getting in touch with the spiritual world. At first, I was terrified about it, but as I've been kind of reading up on different things and energies, and in the video where the kids was playing, I let my daughter look at the video too. She said, "Look like they playing hide and go seek."
Look at that. Look at the children playing.
I think it's very plausible and probably most likely that what we're seeing here is a residual phenomenon, because you can clearly see the outline, the shadow, if you will, of several different children. How many kids have rode on this bus day after day, year after year? I mean, who knows how long that bus has been commissioned for? That's a lot of energy in this public transportation. Maybe just the right setting kind of triggered that, and that's what's playing out here in front of us.
A possibility that has set Dante's mind at ease.
It just brings me peace. The kids were actually playing. That was just a sign of pure and positive energy. It's not no bad energy. I looked around. I just wanted somebody just to see with their own eyes, to see what I was seeing, but it was nobody there but me. So I would like to say that I may be just the lucky one.
Lucky and grateful for the chance to have his perspective changed for the better.
I'm just glad that I was able to see the things that I've seen and look at life in a whole different way now.
Good.
Coming up, a ghost is spotted by a woman's security camera. And her pets. For most homeowners, finding evidence that your house is haunted would be cause for concern. But before putting your home on the market, consider taking a cue from your four-legged friends. Because while you may be freaked out by a ghost, if your pets are anything like a Texas woman's, they're possibly already quite familiar with it. April 15th, 2025, in San Marcos, Texas. It's the early morning, and a woman named Carrie notices a stain on her rug that wasn't there the night before. But when she checks her security camera footage to see which of her dogs or cats is responsible, she spots something terrifying. Did you see it? Watch again, in slow motion. A figure, tall and translucent, can be seen strolling through the kitchen, as Carrie's pets appear to calmly observe it. What could that possibly be?
The figure seems to be about the size and form of a person, and it appears to be walking from left to right. But it's never fully formed. It seems to be transparent then apparent, materializing and dematerializing as it moves across the room. Had the animals not been present in this video, I might have been tempted to say that, oh, perhaps it's just the speed that the camera's running at, and perhaps it was the homeowner herself that was causing that ghostly image. But the fact that the animals are so clearly defined in the same space, it doesn't seem like it's possible that this was a living, breathing human being who was walking across that room.
And yet, nonetheless, Carrie's pets are, seemingly, fully aware of its presence.
We can see every animal in the room was completely aware, head turned, pointed, looking right at this.
Cats especially, and dogs also, have long been understood to be able to see things that we can't see. Cultures around the world have also suggested that animals are able to use their senses, whether it's another sixth sense, we might say, or simply their better normal five senses, to see the spirit world as well.
Carrie agrees, pointing out the pet's reaction when she posts the video online, and also insisting that the figure looks nothing like anyone in the home, or at least no one that's alive.
When it comes to domestic animals, our pets are home more than we are. We've got to go out, we've got to go to work, but meanwhile, our pets are our security system. They watch, they listen, they guard the home. So if a spirit has manifested, maybe for the first time, maybe several times, it's had time to maybe get to know the animal. Maybe the animals are comfortable with its presence so that by the time we come home, and maybe see something for the first time. We're spooked, but the animals are like, oh yeah, that's Nigel. He's been here for about 2 weeks now.
And if Nigel, or whoever it is, has plans to stay longer than 2 weeks, chances are Carrie has nothing to worry about.
The animals don't seem to be too phased or scared or aggressive towards this entity. The cat goes back to grooming itself, the other cats seem to be chill, and so to me that's actually a good sign. It's a sign that says whatever is haunting this location, whoever this is, the animals feel comfortable with it and it's not something to fear.
But even if it's not worth getting scared over, it may take some getting used to.
So your pets see dead people. Now what? Well, the dog probably just wants the ghost to throw it a ball. Meanwhile, the cat is probably gonna knock stuff over and then blame it on the ghost.
What should you do in the event you witness something paranormal? Here are some tips to get it all on camera. Check your footage, and then check it again. Understand when to push boundaries.
Come out so I can see you.
And when to stop. Trust that what you're seeing really is something paranormal.
Look at that. Look at the children playing.
And
that is a straight up orb, dude.
If you do catch something, email us at submitparanormal@gmail.com. Your footage could be seen right here on Paranormal Caught on Camera.